Okay, can we just be honest for a minute? A lot of women are not enjoying sex. It may even seem like men typically will always enjoy it more than women. And usually when I hear that, it's not said directly. It sounds more like, I don't know, I just don't feel as into it. Okay, so from a lot of women's standpoint, they're just not fully engaged in the sexual experience. And if we really think about it, it's not so much that men enjoy it more, it's that a lot of women never really were taught to really own their pleasure. So for a lot of women, you get stuck in your head a lot. Do I look okay? Am I doing this right? I'm exhausted. I know he's going to want this, so I need to do that, but I'm not going to get what I want. And so your pleasure as a woman actually becomes more optional than something that should just happen anyway throughout the experience. And the thing is, for a lot of women, your body needs to feel safe, connected, relaxed first. But see, when you're stressed and overwhelmed, of course, it's not going to feel good. So, no, it's not that men enjoy sex more. A lot of women just never had the space to enjoy it. And a lot of times, if women haven't really felt like they've been able to own their pleasure or even make their pleasure a priority, then a lot of times in these sexual experiences, they can take it or leave it. Just being real. So let's just talk about how all of this even starts, because a lot of this starts through social conditioning. Because honest, this typically starts way before there's even a sexual relationship. And I'll explain what I mean by that. So boys are often given like this unspoken permission to explore their bodies, to kind of play around with it, just being honest, masturbate, right? And it's normalized. But for a lot of girls, the messaging is a little bit more mixed. So we might hear, be attractive, but don't be sexual. You can be desired, but don't desire too much. So what you learn without even realizing it is how to be aware of yourself in those moments. Like, do I look okay? And again, am I doing this right? And what does he think? And that might seem small, in the moment, but it actually pulls you out of your body, out of the experience. So you're not just feeling what's happening, you're watching yourself while it's happening. And honestly, that makes it really hard to enjoy anything. Now, when we talk about the actual sexual experience, you all, this is where a lot of women start noticing, okay, something feels off. And what that's called is the pleasure gap. Basically, what that means is like in heterosexual relationships, men are more likely to orgasm than women. But for this, I don't even want to focus too much on the orgasm just yet. I want to focus on like a pattern. And see, because a lot of sexual experiences tend to look like this. A little bit of buildup. Okay, so you're getting kind of excited. Then there's penetration. And then when he finishes, sex is probably over. And if you really sit with that for a second, like just hear me out, just sit with it. That entire experience is structured around his body, the way his body is designed and the way his body responds to the experience. So if your body needs something different than what y'all just did, that little slight build up, penetration, and it's over, such as like more time, direct stimulation, more connection, you can easily go through that entire experience feeling like your needs were never even met. And over time, believe it or not, your body starts to register that. And so sex becomes this thing that it's like, okay. And see, this is the part that a lot of people don't talk about enough. But for many women, desire just doesn't show up out of nowhere. It's not like, oh, okay, I'm randomly in the mood. It's a little bit more responsive. So that responsive desire, meaning like something has to come before the arousal, whether that's a little bit more connection, quality time, a little bit more physical stimulation, whatever it is that she needs, it still needs to be something first that's happening before she's actually really ready to engage in the sexual experience. And so what that could look like specifically, it needs to build after certain things are in place, such as like I'm feeling emotionally safe, I'm feeling connected, I'm not feeling overwhelmed. But let me ask you all this. If your mind is running through your to-do list, or you're holding a whole bunch of stress in your body, something in your relationship is off, maybe there's some communication issues, resentment, what have you. So how easy is it to just transfer into pleasure with feeling all of that? For most people, it's not, because your body needs a sense of safety to open up, like that. And if that safety isn't there consistently, then sex can start feeling like something that you have to like get into, like you have to rev yourself up, instead of something that you naturally want. And then there's this other layer of pressure, right? Um, a lot of people don't even realize like how much performance shows up in sex. Like, is this going well? Am I taking too long? Is this enough? And when that's happening, you're no longer in the presence. You're no longer in the experience. You're just managing it. And honestly, and for a lot of women especially, that pressure just shuts things all the way down, because pleasure doesn't really respond to pressure. We've talked about that in a previous video. It responds to presence, it responds to curiosity, to feel like you don't have to necessarily get it right. So if sex becomes more like goal oriented, right? Like there's somewhere you're supposed to get to, it can actually take you further away from enjoying what's actually happening in the moment. And so guys, a lot of times when she's kind of rushing you, like let's just get to this penetration, it's not always because she's just so excited and she's just feeling her raw animalistic nature. She just knows that she's not going to probably really get anything out of it. So she's kind of like, you know what, let's hurry this thing up. You go ahead and do what you got to do, pop one off, so we can be done. And after that, she might find her way into the shower somewhere just to kind of like finish the job. So again, when I hear people say that men typically enjoy sex more than women, I just want to pause right there, okay? Because that's not actually the full story. A better question: what has someone been taught about their own pleasure? What kind of experiences have they had around it? Because when women feel safe, connected, desired, and actually prioritize, their capacity for pleasure is not lower, trust and believe. I tell a lot of clients this, when we're in conversations around sex, and like, oh, she doesn't want it, she's kind of always rejected me. But again, if she is feeling safe, connected, desired, and prioritized, trust and believe, a whole other woman is going to emerge. I'm serious about this, so serious. You got to prioritize these things so that she can own her pleasure. And for a lot of men, sometimes, women have been a little bit underdeveloped and overlooked in this area. And this is the reason why you're not seeing her in that space of excitement when it comes to sex. So in a nutshell, see her, hear her, listen to her, talk to her, do the things that she likes. Not just once, not just twice, but consistently. So if you've ever felt like you're just not into sex, you're just not as into sex as your partner, I don't want your first thought to be, something's wrong with me. I want it to be, what has my body experienced around pleasure? And what might I actually need to feel more connected to it? Because this is not about men enjoying sex more. It's about whether both people have been given the space to fully enjoy it. And for a lot of women, unfortunately, that space just hasn't been there yet.